2023 has been a great year for video games. Well, I guess a great year for video game releases? Either way, there's loads of amazing games that came out in 2023, and it's my job to let you know which of them were the best, because my opinion is more important than Jeff Keighley's. So welcome to Indie's 2023 Games of the Year! Sorry, I'm still a little sick. First of all, Baldur's Gate 3 is not on this list. I haven't played it, but it's pretty good from what I've heard. On that note, let's do a rapid fire of games I've started, enjoyed, but haven't finished. In Stars and Time is an amazing RPG with a very satisfying and interesting take on the Groundhog Day style time loop with characters that you'll instantly fall in love with. Born of Bread is a new RPG on Switch that captures all the charm of Paper Mario with its art style, gameplay, writing, and soundtrack. It's still very much its own thing though, and a very strong recommend if Origami King didn't quite scratch your Paper Mario itch. Alien Hominid Invasion is a run-and-gun roguelike sequel to the original Newgrounds game, and it's both hard as heck and fun as heck. It's a great game for some co-op multiplayer, as long as you don't mind dying a lot. Karma Zoo is a pixel platformer that rewards you for being kind to other players. There's something about playing with a room full of people that you can't talk to, but still finding a way to collaborate. It's magic I haven't seen since Journey first came out. With those out of the way, let's talk about this year's best games. First of all, we got the best Resident Evil game ever made here in 2023. That's right, My Friendly Neighborhood. It's a spin on the survival horror genre that replaces zombies with puppets. While there's no gore or foul language to be found in this title, it still manages to keep you on your toes as you try to avoid hugs from crazed puppets as you blast them away with letters. How a game set in a TV studio for a puppet show manages to be tense and scary is a mystery to me, but the team behind My Friendly Neighborhood pulled it off flawlessly. As you delve into the world of MFN Studios, you'll begin to fall in love with the world that John and Evan Szymanski created. It's not just blasting away at felt creatures, it's helping puppets with their problems, solving creative puzzles, and unraveling the mystery of what happened to MFN Studios. This isn't just my favorite horror game of 2023, this might be my favorite horror game of all time. Also, the voice cast features Arlo, and if that's not perfect casting, I don't know what is. Speaking of horror, how about a game where the main character gets their head chopped off? Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. None of those words are in the Bible. I don't even think cyberpunk is in the dictionary. But it describes this game perfectly. Its cyberpunk world, combined with a low poly art style and funky soundtrack, builds an atmosphere that I'm absolutely in love with. I grew up on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and Bomb Rush Cyberpunk combines that with Jet Set Radio and gives everyone jetpacks. It's like this game was made for me. There's a fine line between sports and action platforming, but Bomb Rush Cyberpunk grinds that line perfectly. That's why Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is my favorite action game of 2023. Apparently, you can't give a Game of the Year award to a game that isn't out yet, but I spent over 30 hours on this demo, which is more than my playtime of Bomb Rush Cyberpunk and My Friendly Neighborhood combined. The team at Wishes Unlimited said that Beastie Ball's demo is meant to be 30 to 60 minutes of content, but I didn't listen. Beastie Ball is a fusion of critter catching and volleyball, and it is a slam dunk. Spike? Even if the story of the demo is less than an hour, I stayed immersed in the world, enjoying battles and searching for sparkly critters. Very few games have hooked me like Beastie Ball has, which is why I'm awarding it my Game of the Next Year award for 2023. This next game is one that completely rearranged my brain chemistry, and for the better. I now maximize the productivity of my tasks through planning. I pretend to be a little critter carrying out tasks. I've mastered the art of Dandori, and it's all thanks to Pikmin 4. Pikmin fans only seem to get a new game once in a decade, and the wait was absolutely worth it. Pikmin 4 innovates on the series in fun, new, innovative ways, and introduces some of the series' wildest challenges yet. There have been very few games that are just pure fun, and Pikmin 4 managed to light that spark. Also, it includes a dog, his name is Ochi, and I love him. Pikmin 4 is the best AAA game I've played in 2023. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. Sometimes it feels like the world is ending, but there's nothing you can do besides keep living till the end. People are gonna react to mourning a future they never got to have differently, and I think Goodbye Volcano High does a great job of capturing that feeling. Goodbye Volcano High is the story of Fang trying to survive their senior year of high school. They have big plans, performing at the Battle of the Bands, going to college, living their lives. But when a meteor is headed for the planet, those priorities shift a bit. The story elements of the game feature the relationship building mechanics of games like Life is Strange or The Walking Dead, and segments where Fang and their band play are a fun rhythm game. Where this game shines though is how it all comes together to tell a heart-wrenching story. What's most important when the world could be gone tomorrow? Goodbye Volcano High wins my Narrative Game of the Year award for 2023. Now, before we go and discuss my Game of the Year for 2023, I want to give a few more honorable mentions for games that I really liked. Knuckle Sandwich is a love letter to the GBA and early 2000s RPGs. It's WarioWare meets Mother 3 and has one of the best video game soundtracks I've ever heard. Few video games have gotten my blood pumping like Hi-Fi Rush. Its rhythm action is top tier, and the tracks they picked for it are all bops. It's an absolute treat, and I need to play it again. Super Lesbian Animal RPG was released at the end of 22, so it was too late for any awards then. I just want to say it's one of my favorite RPGs ever, so I'm squeezing it in here. Look, we all expected Pizza Tower to win Best Indie at the Game Awards, and I can see why. It's the most video game ever made, and that said, I played it with a mod that turns Peppino into Pinkie Pie, and it made the game like 20% cooler. Pizza Tower is only on my Game of the Year list because of this mod. Now, let's talk about my actual Game of the Year. I was playing my Switch on the bus, and I was so engrossed in my game that when I got to my stop and got off, I hadn't realized I'd left my phone behind on my seat. How many games hook you so hard that you leave your phone behind on the bus? Cobalt Core is one of those rare few games that can command my attention so thoroughly, and it's the most addictive game I've played since The Binding of Isaac. Cobalt Core is a deck-building, space-fighting roguelike, and that is a mouthful. The goal is pretty simple. You defeat the enemy ship by playing cards that allow you to move or attack, you get new cards and upgrades for your ship, and repeat until you complete the loop or your ship explodes. That's right, baby, this is a time loop story! And a good one at that. You need to figure out why you and your teammates have been stranded outside of space and time, and you've got to do what you can to repair the time stream. The stakes are interesting, especially as you piece together the events that started the adventure. The writing in this game is so funny, but the characters are so endearing. You'll meet a grandma that sells baked goods and weapons, a wizard piloting a space castle, and Dracula, who's a pretty chill guy. The characters that you can have pilot your ship are great too, and their banter is always entertaining. Back to how the game plays though, there's a variety of pilots who can command your ship, and each one has a different set of cards to play. Combine that with multiple ships with different layouts, and you've got a wide variety of playstyles to choose from. Just like The Binding of Isaac, you'll find random upgrades throughout your run that could lead to some killer synergy or another failed run, and finding that perfect build is an absolute thrill. Cobalt Core manages to squeeze one more game out of me whenever I think I'm done, and then another, and then another. I quite literally want to stop writing the script and play more of it. This is a space adventure I can't recommend enough. That's why Cobalt Core is my Game of the Year for 2023. Thanks for listening to me talk about my favorite games I've played this year. If you think I missed something, let me know in the comments. And if you worked on any of these, thank you for making such wonderful experiences. I've included links on where to play these games in the description, so be sure to check them out and have a great 2024.